Hey guys, it's Robert, the Ageless Wonder. I am going to talk about a topic that is the most requested topic that I get. Robert, how do you run that tiller for 16 to 20 hours a day without just wearing your arm out? And you do it day after day. Well, it all starts with setup. If you're going to run a tiller steer, you're going to be setting to the side of the boat. So yeah, my seat is over here to the side. So I need to counteract that with some weight on the other side. Why is that? Because a boat always turns a direction that there's extra weight on that side. So first I want my boat to track as straight as possible. So what I did is I added a fourth tank on the left side of the boat and just used three tanks on the right side or the starboard side, and that helps me level it out. And then when I run my tanks down, I always run the starboard side tank on the back first to help get more weight over there to the port side to counter my weight on the starboard side. So it starts with setup. The other thing that helps is getting weight forward. Why would getting weight forward help? Because when you are operating a boat, you have to trim down if you've got all your weight in the back. Just the fact that you trim a boat down causes something called differential pitch on your prop. So as you start, both of your blades are the same pitch relative to forward movement. As you pitch up, one blade gets almost no pitch on it relative to forward motion, and the other blade picks up a lot of pitch. So it causes the boat to turn to the away from the high pitch side. So it's going to try to turn left. So you're going to have to pull on that tiller. So you'd prefer to operate with your motor with the thrust exactly level, and that would eliminate any differential pitch on your prop relative to forward movement. And so that's why you want to get some weight forward to help decrease the need for trimming your motor down. Other things that you can do to solve that issue is to put trim tabs on the back of the boat. Some people actually weld wedges to the bottom of the boat to help get the front down so they can trim their motor up and get their thrust in direct line of forward motion. So that's some other things that we can do to eliminate that torque. The torque's always going to be pulling the tiller to the port side or to the left side, and you're going to be having to hold that motor in that position. And what you'd like to do is have that just be totally neutral, that it tracks perfectly. So let's kind of review where we are so far. You can move weight forward. You can trim the boat left to right so that it isn't pulling one way or the other. And you can, next thing, just to be comfortable, I like to position my seat where my tiller arm is just at a slight bend of an angle. It's just really a comfortable position that I can stay in for hours. And yeah, you just do that by testing, moving your seat back and forth, and you can get that to a comfortable position. Um, some of the next things you want to look at is every motor on the bottom of the ventilation plate has a anti-torque device, and it's just a fin right behind the prop on the bottom of the cavitation plate or ventilation plate. And what that does is it generally is turned to the starboard side to bring the motor back this direction, so you don't have to pull on it so much. And generally they say that is a torque tab because it's eliminating the torque on the tiller associated with the motor spinning around. Now, I had the unwelcome circumstance of actually when I was setting the world record, that 2,244-mile run from Kingmont, West Virginia down to the coast, I got a log stuck between my prop and my torque tab, and just snapped it off. Oh my God, did I have a massive amount of torque on the handle. It was just almost too tough to handle. So what I did is I had some shock cord in the boat and some rope, and I rigged something up, and now I always carry this thing. It's my little secret device. I'll install it right here and then show you how it works. So what it does is I mounted a clip right here, and I just put a piece of rope around the handle, and there's some red shock cord here so you can still move the tiller if you need to dodge something. And then I run the rope up to let's see if I can get it where you can see it. I have a cleat right here so I can adjust the tension, and that allows me to add just enough tension with the shock cord to make their zero torque on the handle. I've never had to use that except for that one time where I broke off that torque tab, and I always carry this thing with me now just in case, and I carry a spare torque tab. Let's come on back. Um, so when you're going to set up that torque tab, if you're steering with a tiller, what you ought to do is just turn that thing all the way as far as the manufacturer allows it to go, because that'll do two things. It'll be enough to counter the torque that the motor's generating, and it will be some help in the fact that you've had to trim down that motor and you've got this difference in forward prop pitch from side to side. So always go all the way to the right. You'll never regret that. And then, so what are some other things that you can do to get this motor so you don't have to trim it up? Well, what I've been doing the last few years is I've been running a whale tail. It's let's see if I can find the brand here. It's the Davis Instruments whale tail. It's like the largest, flattest one that comes out behind the motor. It serves two purposes. It actually allows me, when I do trim down, it gives it more effect because the whale tail actually becomes a trim tab. But I still have to take the motor out of its thrust line, and I decrease the efficiency of the motor. I mentioned earlier you can add wedges on the bottom of the boat welded on, and those will help you keep the front of the boat down. What I'm going to do on my next boat, I'm going to go ahead and put power trim tabs on there. So that'll allow me to trim those down and keep my motor trimmed up to the most efficient speed. I'll keep my thrust line going straight forward. So I think that's pretty much it. It's all about setup, getting your boat balanced port to starboard. And you can do that with fuel loads or where you set people in your boat. If you can set people a little bit further forward and hold the bow down, you can trim the motor up and that'll reduce the torque. Um, yeah, and when you do that, you'll just feel the torque go away. Now, the next thing I do is you'll see a lot of times in the videos when I was doing the Great Loop speed record run is I would pass people and I'd put both hands in the air and go, "Yay, come on, let's get it. Thanks for coming out." And how did I do that safely? Especially if there was any torque on the tiller. And I'm not saying I keep zero torque on the tiller, but I try to manage it to where it's close to zero torque on the tiller. On the Tohatsu, you have a lever, it's just under the motor, and you can change the tension on the tiller, and it just sets it where it requires a little more force to turn the tiller, and you can actually almost lock it. And so what you probably didn't see me do is before I approach people on the bank, I'll push that over to maximum tension. I'll go ahead and steer the right place I want to go, and then I'll wave at them or interact with the people on the shore, and then I'll come back and pull a little tension off of there. One secret I found out is carry a wrench that can tighten that little nut, because at least with the distances I go, you'll get some wear on those brake pads on that tiller tensioner, and you'll have to tighten that up a little bit. I eventually end up replacing that nylock nut on there. I just ordered a bunch of them over the internet, and I replace that nylock nut on there from time to time. Eventually, you'll actually wear, like wearing your brakes on your car, you'll wear that braking bar, and it's not super expensive, but you can replace that braking bar if it gets where it's thinner in the middle and thicker on the outside. But yeah, I've had to do that on the 40 horsepower I had that I took through the Arctic and through the Inside Passage. I just had so many miles on that that I had start to wear the middle of the brake bar. Some other things that causes that to wear is people that leave it clamped when they're trailering and the motor wiggles around. It'll cause excessive wear and quick wear on that braking pad for the tiller tension. Um, I actually added little tie downs on the side of the motor that I can tie back to the boat, and I go ahead and support the motor so it doesn't turn left and right while I'm trailering it, and I just release all the tension off of the tiller brake, and that makes that pad last longer. So one more review. We're going to balance the boat port to starboard so the boat isn't turning left or turning right because of loading. We're going to try to put enough load forward in the boat so that we can trim the motor level so that all of our thrust line is pushing the boat forward. And if it's a person, have them move back, and you'll notice you have to trim the motor down and the boat slows down. So yeah, getting weight left to right and fore and aft is a huge thing on keeping your thrust line straight. Then we talked about the torque tab on the motor. We talked about that can overcome the torque of the motor and overcome a little bit of the differential thrust on the pitch of the prop. We discussed why there is differential pitch, because when a motor tilts up, one blade goes almost vertical and has no effective pitch. The other blade gains a bunch of pitch. So you can imagine that motor wants to steer around, steer to the left, so you're gonna have to pull back on it. Yeah, you got to be really careful about that so that when you trim down, you know that you're going to get an additional pull on your tiller. Then we discussed the Davis Whale Tail. That's what I've been using. It's not as good as a trim tab or a hull wedge, but it is variable with the pitch of the motor, and I kind of like that. The problem with wedges is you're kind of stuck with that setting. I like the ability to adjust with my loading. I'd like to perfectly load where I don't have to use a wedge or a trim tab. I think that is the most efficient way that you can run. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with hydraulic trim tabs on my next bigger boat. It's going to be a 23-foot long, 70-inch wide boat with 140 horsepower Tohatsu. And I think it's going ahead and be worth investing in hydraulic trim tabs. Also, that will allow me, if I can't balance my load left or right, I will be able to use the trim tabs to balance my boat out so I don't pull one direction or another. Well, guys, I hope you found that helpful. And if any of y'all notice this Great Loop t-shirt, they offer it top Top Deck Gear offers this in a bunch of different maps. They have them for all up and down the Texas coast, for Galveston Bay, for Aransas Pass, Corpus Christi, and about everywhere you can imagine in the United States. If you like the shirt, this isn't about the shirt, but I'll put a link down there, and they have given me a discount code for my viewers. If you would like to get a 15% discount, just go to Top Deck Gear's website and use Ageless Wanderer 15 as one word, and you'll get 15% off of the retail price. It's a one-time use, guys, so just know that that's the situation. One-time use, 15% off, Ageless Wanderer 15. Guys, thanks so much for watching the YouTube, and we will see you next Sunday.